Welcome to episode 6. Ctrl Alt Refuel. This is going quite well, isn't it? We've had some views. It's been all right. It's been fun.
How many views have we had? I think we've had 30 something on one of them. But
They've had about 30ish, yeah. But there's the algorithm's been unkind to us. But the more we make, the more we're gonna get seen and viewed.
People will see the other episodes, yeah.
ITV hasn't been in contact yet, then.
No, ITVX have, and obviously told them to piss off. Go on that trash.
Belinda's wanting us to do it naked or something on an island.
Oh.
Right, so what are we up to today, lads?
I'm a used car dealer, for those that don't know. Well, we are mostly running around thinking about getting cars up to the site and prepared and advertised. Yeah, you guys work for a living, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, for the audience that don't know, both Chris and I are lorry drivers. We occasionally work. Not today, mind.
So, yeah, I thought we could maybe talk about the fact that no dealers want EVs. They can't sell them. They're crap. Or that sort of thud that we hear so often on Facebook and elsewhere on social media seems to cause me much less headaches than a fossil car. Preparation's easier. I haven't obviously got to do so much around the servicing. They sell just fine. So have you guys got any questions about like any myths or anything?
We're all quite well up on the EV world, aren't we? So that's really a question for someone who doesn't really know much about EVs. But I'll back up what you just said, because when my car goes, which could be in a few months rather than next year, I'm considering buying a second-hand EV anyway.
Which car are you replacing?
Because the Genesis is the Genesis should be going next August, but there's a possibility it's going in a few months. It's salary sacrifice. That's why we get it so much cheaper than the list price. You know, my partner's on a good deal, and we get it. We pay about £150 a month for it, which is cracking. You know. This is the problem with salary sacrifice, and this is why you should go second-hand EV, because salary sacrifice, if you fall in love with that car, in 4 years, you've got to take it back anyway.
Yeah.
But if you go to someone like Samantha, who sells them, you can keep it for as long as you want, and then when you sell it, even if it's 500 quid or £1,000 or 10 grand or whatever, you've got some equity back. Well, at the moment, we've paid X amount over these 4 years, and we're just going to hand it back, and we don't gain anything from it apart from the experience. So it's the second-hand car market is brilliant, you know.
On the subject of selling the car on, something that's important to me, and it's entirely emotional, not at all logical, but when I sold my Rover 200 Coupe in about 2000, the first guy who came to see it offered enough money, and I didn't like him, so I didn't sell it to him. And the second guy,
I've done that.
And the second guy came along, and I liked him, and he offered less money, and I sold the car to him because I liked him, because that car was really important to me. The Rover 200 Coupe was lovely, lovely, lovely car, and I wanted it to go to a good home, despite the fact I'd crashed it on the Nürburgring about 6 months before. But yeah, well, never mind that.
Yeah,
I know Nürburgring.
It's fun. That's an interesting point. As a dealer, we often get people coming in, and they're two types of people. They're like nice, normal people, or they're like, you know, idiots and
but you would say boys and girls then.
Pain in the arses. But what Paul said, if someone's nice to us, they'll get a better deal than someone who plays hardball and is, you know, miserable and tries to kick us in the bollocks. You know, quite often I've said no, I'm not interested, and we'll let them go on their way. So yeah, top tip: be nice to the dealer, and you'll get more.
I mean, one should be nice to everyone, surely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's the same kind of people what go into car dealerships doing the hardball thing. The same kind of people going to Frankie and Benny's, eat 3/4 of the meal, and then say, "Oh, it's crap. I want my money back."
Yeah, the Facebook comments where you're advertising a car and you're clearly a retail establishment and you've prepared this car for retail and you get guarantees, etc. They go, "Oh, that's expensive." Well, piss off and go and buy one privately. If it goes wrong, don't come crying to me. It's like friends ask me for a car. I haven't got one. Like, wait, give me a week or two and I'll find you something. But they go off and buy something from Joe Blogs elsewhere, and then it goes wrong, and they're, that car I bought, can you help me out? No, I can't.
Just
buy it from me.
Just a customer. At the end of the day, they're just a customer, aren't they? It's business. It's got to be. It's just business.
I hate selling to friends and family. It does.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It would be really tough. It really stressful.
Did you see my post last night on X about my stepmother wanting a car? It just drives me mental. Here's a car. Oh, I don't want that one. Oh, it's a bit too complicated for me. Can you plug your phone in every night? Yeah. Well, I'm sure you can plug this car in once a month, can't you?
When did used EVs really become a proper thing for you?
I think for me, about 8 years ago, I think the first time I had an i3 come in stock.
Yeah.
About 2008, 18, something like that, was the first time I had one in stock, which was an early car. And I thought, yeah, this is bloody brilliant. But obviously, before that, there was lots of hybrids and Toyota Priuses.
2014.
So
car came out.
You sort of learn your way a little bit with the hybrids, and then the i3 came along, and then what did I get next? I think I bought a Leaf came in, and that's when it sort of really turned my head. Well, these are really good, and they didn't come back with any complaints or grizzles or warranty issues. But to answer your question, I think probably the last 3 years really is where I've been really more seriously into buying them for stock, because they're sort of slowly reaching my price point, which is below £10,000.
Yeah.
I like to sell for.
Yeah.
Before that, they're a bit expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, they're really easy to prepare, and and when they sell, they don't seem to come back with any issues. Now, the people that buy them, if they're EV virgins, they do take a lot more of my time up. I have to sort of explain quite a lot to them, hold their hand, before, during, and after the sale. So I'm not really customer focused myself anymore. I'm more in the background, buying the cars and running around organising them. So I've got a couple of salesmen. So it's been more a case of trying to get them to understand EVs and the customers. But in general, if somebody buys a new EV and they're new to it, then I then get involved and I'll spend half an hour with them. I'll try and hand it over to them if I can. I'll even take them to a charger.
Yeah.
So, but don't get me wrong, a lot of people, they don't want to know. They say, oh, no, I'll work it out. And they don't. And then they phone up with a really stupid, obvious question that I could have helped them with at the time if they'd have been prepared to learn something from me.
A lot of people quite prideful, aren't they, though? Because it's they don't want to feel like they don't know. They feel embarrassed, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something different, Yeah,
it's only a very small learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not too difficult, but there is a learning curve.
If you're technology minded, if you're a proper technophobe, then it might be harder.
I suggest a lot of EVs are.
Yeah, but I think you can just get in and drive it, can't you? And just sort of exist with it. But there's quite a few little things that us nerds can tell people. I had one guy today. He phoned up and goes, "I bought a Zoe off you last year. I've got to do a journey tomorrow. It's my first long journey, my first public charge, and the weather says it's going to be raining, so I'm worried." And I said, well, and I thought, oh, I know you. You're the guy that wouldn't let me hand the car over or tell you anything about it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, cut a long story short, I actually said, well, you can stand in a puddle and charge it in a monsoon, you'll be fine. But he didn't know about the DC flap on the Zoe.
Oh, well.
He bought a rapid charge DC Zoe.
We've discussed that before, haven't we?
Yeah. We had this conversation, didn't we? And I said, well, you just pull the flap down, you can rapid charge. He goes, oh, okay. I'm sure we had this conversation with at the time, but then I remembered that he wasn't prepared to be told anything. So here he is. But he's really happy with the car. So yeah, all good. But they do take a lot of my time. Yeah.
What are your favourite second-hand EVs to sell?
Well, I'm gonna have to say my favourite EVs to sell are the Mark 1 or the Gen 1 Leaf. Value for money, reliability. I think they're my favourite as an item to stock.
And inside the Gen 1, you're particularly fond of the 24s, aren't you? That does seem to be the early
only because I've not found a 30 with 11 bars yet. I try and buy the 24s with 12 or 11 bars and the 30s with 11. I've just not seen one.
If you find a 30 with 12 or 11 bars, then be suspicious, because there are ways of resetting.
Okay, so I'm not buying any 30s now, thanks.
I'm sure that when you see a car, you get sort of tingly feelings when you think there's something not quite right with this car.
Spider senses. Yeah,
that will help you with 30s. But yeah, the 30 has a well-known degradation issue. and my car is no stranger to that.
The second thing I like closely related is a Zoe 40 or a ZE50 with rapid charge. I'm selling the ZE40s. They're AC only charging cars pretty well, but they seem to have slowed down a bit. But I can get a rapid charging Zoe ZE50, and they seem to sell super quickly. So I'm looking for more of those. Other things I've had, Kia Souls, that Hyundai Classic Ioniq, they're all good news.
i3s.
Yeah, i3s. Yeah, they sort of go with ebbs and flows. When I first bought them, you could only sell a Rex if it had the range extender.
Oh yeah.
The pure BEV ones were, just really hard to sell. Then it went the other way around. So if you had a Rex, you couldn't sell it, and they brought the BEV. But now I'm noticing, especially at the cheaper end of the scale, that people are always asking me for a Rex now for some reason. I don't quite understand what it is. But I think again,
what's the Rex?
Range extender. It's got like a little lawnmower engine in it that you can use to charge the battery up. It doesn't move the wheels. It's directly connected to the charging system. So it's a generator basically.
What percentage are EV and internal combustion for you?
It's getting close to 50-50 now, I think.
Really?
Well, that's what I try. Yeah. As always in this game, it's not so much selling the cars; it's restocking. It's buying them. That's the skill and the issue.
Oh, okay.
So right now, I could get another 12, 15 cars on the site.
I've been to your site a couple of times. You're a little limited for space, aren't you?
Yeah, it's on a corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's but it's everybody does their window shopping online. Having a site is just a bit, it's just sort of a bit of window dressing. People drive past and sit, and they go home and they look on the website. You don't, you rarely have people just wander on nowadays, and who haven't done some research or phoned you first.
Yeah.
So does all your stock go on this corner site, or do you have like a backup site where you put other stuff and then you have more selection on the website? A bit like Argos, where you can see some of it, but the rest of it's like behind a wall. You have to go on the internet to have a look at it.
Yeah, no. Ideally, there's 30 cars on site, and I've got about 7 or 8 various places, 3 or 4 at my house. A couple in the roads, a couple at paint shops or
at your house. Your neighbours hate you.
That's right. Yeah, we're sort of a little bit secluded, so it's not too bad.
Okay.
Given that the Z mandate is going to stop the sales of internal combustion cars, well, we think in 2035, is that right?
2035, between 2030 and 2035, you can buy a petrol hybrid.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if when and if the sale of new internal combustion engine cars does cease, that means that your role in the supply of those types of cars is going to become even more important. So perhaps your range of internal combustion cars is going to increase at that point rather than decrease.
Oh God, I hope not. I think it'll be like a classic, won't it? A classic car niche product, but we'll be too old to worry about it by then. But yeah, it's just dealers will come around to the same way of thinking as me, and they'll be selling more and more EVs leading up to it, and less and less fossil cars. Some dealers will just specialize and continue to sell them. They might do quite well. Yeah.
So presumably you can see a point where you will not be selling internal combustion engine cars.
The point where I'm not buying internal combustion engine cars to sell is really close. It could be the next 18 months to 2 years.
No, 2 years, really.
Yeah, even less, because I'm even now that's the point I was making. Even now I'm sort of focused and enjoying and interested in buying EVs. I still have to try and spend time buying and stocking fossil cars, but it's really I'm really not interested in doing it. But yeah, so if I've got a site almost full of all EVs, I'm still going to get fossil cars in part exchange. I'm still going to resell them.
How many Teslas do you have?
I've never bought a Tesla.
No, I knew the answer to that question.
No. The reason being is there's specialists about that would do the job better than me, and it's like the old Saab buyers. The people that buy them are just more nerdy than me about them, and I don't think I've got the enthusiasm to do what would need to be done to do that job correctly. Well, don't get me wrong. If one comes in part exchange, I'll consider it and probably take it in, but yeah, it's just not me.
Thought we was going to have one episode then where we didn't mention Tesla.
Paul's fault. It's like I had this chat with Gary. People asking about battery capacity reports and state of health certificates and stuff.
That's on my list of things to talk to. Yeah, so well done.
I don't really get it. There's a couple of people that have emailed me asking me, and I just said I don't do it, but we can do it for you if you want us to. But most people are just happy to see the GOM and the range, and to be told that your batteries are fine in general. But certain models have different things to look out for, like the Leaf.
Mm.
But yeah, that's something I can see I'm going to have to start getting involved in more as time goes on, is dongles and printing out certificates and stuff. Anything I sell that's diesel would just cause me a headache. I can guarantee it. There's it'll come back with AdBlue issues or DPF block because they don't bloody use the thing. All that sort of stuff. So it's a welcome change with an EV. You don't get any of that comeback doom.
Does your location guide the sort of cars that you buy and sell?
Traditionally, yes, but because like nowadays everything's online, then your shop windows and anywhere, isn't it? We quite a lot of what we sell sell out of the area, and we will deliver, or they'll come pick it up.
One of my group members bought that red Leaf off you, and she never even came to the store, did she? She never even came to the site.
No, but she's a Leaf person that she's got one already.
She
knows what, she's not scared about them or anything. We offered free delivery as a perk for the owners club.
Well done.
What's your maximum range?
Oh yeah, well, me personally.
No,
How many vodkas I've had.
If someone buys something off you,
how far will you deliver?
I'll deliver anyway. I've delivered cars down to France, not
You've
Ireland, Scotland. Yeah, I don't do it myself. I might go as far as Winchester, perhaps, but I don't tend to go too far myself, unless it's something I'm interested in. But yeah, we'll deliver anywhere. Yeah.
I think that I mean, this is completely without foundation, but I think, isn't the delivery quite one of the most enjoyable aspects of the game?
If you've got time, yeah. I like going. Especially if I bought an EV and it's something I've not had before, like that IMEA, which is amazing.
Oh yeah,
that was BCA Bristol docks, so North Bristol. So that was just the stupidest thing to do, but it was an enjoyable day to go and get it and to nurse it back on old charges.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, but if you're buying shitloads of boring cars that don't interest you, the last thing you want to do is keep driving all around the country to pick them up and deliver them. But yeah, the EVs, I must admit, it's got me back more enjoying the business and the game because I'm interested in them, and it's quite nice to hand them over to people that are new to it and explain it all.
How long have you been doing it for?
Cars.
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, my dad was a car trader, but he used to just do it from home, amongst other things. So I've
like a lifelong thing.
I've always been doing it. I've had proper jobs as well, in between. But I suppose about 2000, I gave up. I was a manager at Sainsbury's. I gave up completely and just focused on doing cars.
Right. So is that why it became stale? Because obviously 25 years of doing the same old thing, and now you're interested in EVs. So then now the EV thing it's brought back a bit of spark.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was totally disinterested in cars. 5-6 years ago. Just another tin of beans on the shelf. Because the newer these fossil cars have got, the worse they've got. With regards to reliability and things. Things causing me grief.
What cars that are relatively new at the moment have caught your eye and make you think, oh, I'd like to pick one of those up in 5 or 6 years' time?
I suppose all the boring stuff. That's I like all the sort of run-of-the-mill things, don't I? So like an MG4 would be interesting to have. I've had a few MG ZSs. They I wouldn't want one myself, but they're good bread and butter normal cars, aren't they? All the Neo brand stuff. If we ever get that's I'm really interested in those sort of things, like the Neo ET5 Touring, an estate car, fast estate car, 4-wheel drive. The Neo Firefly we're supposed to be getting, which is a small i3 sized rear wheel drive car, 5-door. Super interesting. I don't know. Yeah, Tesla does well. We've mentioned it twice now, but yeah, I don't. That car we spoke to Graham about is the only one that's really interested me. The wide performance, the new one, but I don't think I'd have one. But never say never. What about you guys? What's coming out that you'd like?
Well, there's new Nissans coming, so obviously I'm interested about that. I'm going to go and see them in a couple of weeks. I'll be seeing the
new Leaf or the new Micra. What touches your interest the most?
Oh, I think the Leaf. Yeah, the new. I think it looks really good from what I've seen. It's a fantastic looking car. if Nissan can price it right, it's going to be really good. Out of the two, I think, my heart still lies with Leaf. It's British manufactured. It's special.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it in a couple of. I'll see both of them in a couple of weeks, and yeah, I'll be talking about them here, obviously in pictures and film.
Renault 5. How do you feel about that? I think that's a great looking thing, but I don't think I could live with it.
No, you couldn't. Your wife likes it.
She doesn't like it.
Oh, she doesn't like it.
No, she's the only person that doesn't like the look of it. I said she's mental.
The Micra and the Renault 5 are closely related, and there's also a lot of hoo-ha about how the Micra is a copy of the Renault 5. In actual fact, it's the other way around.
Yeah, but they were late to bring it out, weren't
The
they?
Micra came first, but Renault's much more streamlined and dare I say, less advanced manufacturing systems enabled them to bring it to market first.
Yeah, it's trendy, the 5, isn't it? But the Renault 4 is bigger.
It's bigger. It's probably going to be more functional. Yeah, there are some unanswered questions over quality control at the French plant, but we don't know. I mean, I'll push and pull it about when I get in it in a few weeks.
What about you, Chris? What EVs coming or current excite you, if any?
Well, there's obviously I've fallen in love with Genesis brand GV90. Sorry, yeah, but it's not out of my price range, but I've got other priorities in my personal life.
Hybrid one, or is it?
No, it's basically the EV9 and Ioniq 9, but Genesis.
All right. Yeah.
That's coming out in a year. I think it's starting to be test driven now in South Korea. But I've got other priorities in my life. I want to try and get a bigger house and all that kind of stuff. So it's not something I'd be buying. The new Ioniq 6 facelift, I think the original one is ugly, but the new one looks really, really nice. And the VW, it's like a Passat estate, really long range. Is it the ID7? Yeah, that looks really smart as well.
Yeah, they're huge. They're a really big, long car.
Yeah, it's a big old lump that. But it's a traditional saloon, and I think a lot of us have affections for that format.
Yeah, but it's things like Renault 5 and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're interesting, they're good, but they're not good for my current life. No. I've got two small kids, so although I'd love a Renault 5 to like nip about with, it's my life is children and dogs, so I need a family car, and it's and the thing with Renault 5 as well, although we say it's got a 200 plus mile range, apparently on the actual speedo it tells you motorway mileage range as well, and that's only 125. And for me, 90% of my journeys are motorway, so I don't want to be pulling over.
Yeah, it's even fine. I mean, I'm happy in the little line here if it does 90% of my needs, if I'm honest with myself, but we all like a better car than we actually need, don't we all?
I don't want to be messing about, but yeah,
you've got more things to.
Chris, you saw the facelift of the GV60 the other day because you sent me a picture. You sent me a picture. You sent me a picture of the facelift.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. It's not. If my Genesis GV60 was bought, it's not something I would trade in to upgrade. But if I was choosing between two brand new ones, the pre-facelift or the facelift, I'd get the facelift. But it's I only saw it for a few minutes, and there's a review what's out for it, what goes into more detail about it.
Yeah, Alex Lowe's reviews really key. Yeah, really good at reviewing stuff. Yeah,
I've not seen
we can insert the link here, Paul.
I will.
The link to Alex's video.
Alex Lowe.
Yeah, maybe we can insert the link to that video here.
Yeah, I've seen his video.
Yeah,
I've not seen it, but yeah, you two probably know more about it than I do. But it's I mean, like I said, it's just I think because I know the car's going soon, I'm kind of like trying not to get excited about the new stuff because I don't know what's coming next.
I wouldn't like to be in that situation.
It was nice to have something brand new and shiny.
Yeah.
The 96 one in the country, it was great. But we signed up to it when we had one child and didn't know the second child was coming. And then it was like, right, okay, well, we just signed up this car and it's great, but then you can't, it's super quick, but you can't put your foot down because you'll break your children's necks.
Yeah.
Because they're in rear facing seats or whatever, but it's.
It didn't
and
seem to
now
Bob Graham Cobb last week with his 19-year-old nephew.
Yeah, he's got a stronger neck than a newborn. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'm quite sad about it because it's going soon. So getting excited about a new Genesis, it's like I know we're not going to sign up for that because things like the Kia EV4 are coming out, which would be much cheaper, and it's the generation of the software from my Genesis GV6 is now in the newer Kia and Hyundai's what are coming out. So it's the same software what I've been using. So it's like I don't know why to spend the extra money when I want to try and get a new house as well. You know, I'm not. Yeah, we're not poor, but we're not daft. You know what I mean? I don't need to go around with turkey teeth and grey walls and laugh love on my walls and stuff like that. I don't need all that. It was a nice 4 years, but now I've got to be sensible. I love my house, but I've got to get a new one. So I've got to prioritise that.
So what? So if you are going to be sensible, cars, what's on your hit list?
It was a thing for next August, but it's judging hopefully when you're not sending this out in for a couple of weeks. There's a possibility of it going back sooner, and then so my partner's new job, if she accepts it, would be another salary sacrifice. But we're trying to work out the gap between when she can get a new salary sacrifice in the new job and when we have to hand back this thing. So she might be hitchhiking, don't know. But yeah, so it's at the moment everything's a bit up in the air. But it's too early to sign up for a Kia EV4 because they're not out yet. But that is I'm trying to push her towards that because it'd be cheaper and it is good, Yeah, so I think she'd be more comfortable in that because it'd have a longer range, so she can get to London and halfway back before she has to stop, and it would be more like an internal combustion, like gradual speed rather than instant speed, and I think that would be more comfortable for her. Anyway, I think she might like an Aria. I've never seen one, but I think she might. From what I hear about, I think she'd like an Aria.
They're good car. The E-Force one, the 4-wheel drive, really top, really good.
Because it's not Chanamo. I'm not messing about.
No, they're CCS2. They're CCS2.
Oh, good. Okay,
fellas, this has been really good. Thank you for helping with episode whatever number it is. This is going to be an ongoing thing, isn't it?
5.
7.
Gareth and Chris, thank you very much. All our viewers, if you'd like to like and subscribe, watch the channel, and drop some comments down below. We love reading your stuff, and we will reply to everything. Guys, thank you again, and we'll be back again soon.
Cheers.
See you later.